Sorry, I was saying I was making a poop because I ate a burrito. There you go. To the person who said it was too loud, I turned it up because I wasn't here. Now I turned it down. If I'm not here and it's just the music, you can control the volume on your computer or your device. That's a cool thing. It was like a shredded beef and egg spicy burrito from Alberto's here in Salt Lake City. Congratulations, Dragon. I just want to quickly say to the guy who's like saying we should do takeovers for free. In a perfect world, sure. But, you know, I work many hours a day, so to do a takeover takes time. I get at least 2 takeover requests every day. And that's with the current pricing, right? So you can do some math, right? If it was free, I would get 50 takeover requests a day. So like in a perfect world, if there was less demand and I had more time, of course it would be free. But I've never done a takeover for a piece of content I didn't already have a free guide available on. Oh, you're a girl? Based on the attitude, I assumed you were a man. But yeah, I mean, you know, we have thousands of viewers. Who doesn't want a free takeover? That's why I try to give back. I do giveaways, but you know, I do a giveaway every other month or something. It just is what it is. Anyway, let's get into it. We're doing just an APOC 2 takeover today. I'm going to try to get this done in like 30 minutes. We'll see. Because I have to do something. We're going to do another stream right after this one. Thank you guys for your patience. Yeah, this burrito really rocked my freaking world. I'm going to be honest. Let me set up the login here. I'm going to switch off the game very quickly while I put in his email address. If I took over your account, I would get tons of views. No. Right? Why would, like, no. Everyone thinks their account's super special. No. No more views than the people that are winning the giveaways or paying. You know, we already have a big queue. And at the end of the day, guys, like, I'm very privileged that this is my job and that allows me to make daily content for everyone, but it's my job, right? No one, you would never ask someone to do their job for free, right? But I still do the free giveaways. You know, I probably do 20 to 30 free takeovers a year. If I beat anything over 19, I'm sure I could beat it on my first try. Let's be honest. I have so many videos, so many VODs. You know, people said they were stuck at 18 and we cleared at 21. I mean, it is what it is, guys. Your account's not special, I promise. If you want, we could do a bet. If I can't do it, I'll pay you $100. And if I can do it, you pay me the full price of the takeover with a little extra. Sure. That would be good content. People would watch the crap out of that. Can I tell you when the website will be back on? I haven't heard from my developer today. I hope as soon as possible. All right. Just getting the code now. Thank you for your patience. We're going to do Apocalypse 2 today, Semra. All my prices can be found on my website. That part of my website's working. Only the interactable parts of my website are down right now. I don't know if there's a mod in the chat, they can share it. Otherwise, I can share it in a bit, or maybe someone else can. We're working on it. I mean, without giving away too much, like, there was a bad actor thing that happened on my website. So we're kind of taking it down to the bones and trying to root out every problem. You know, we're doing everything we can. But at the end of the day, we're just like 3 volunteers. You know, Archer's compensated some for his time, but it's just a free website, guys, and we're doing the best we can. All right, let's get the tunes back on. Update the thumbnail. Okay. A chicken sees a salad. Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, that's good. All right, I'm gonna announce this on my Discord. We'll give like 2 to 3 minutes for people to show up, and then we're off to the races. All right, shall we begin? Drop some R's in the chat if you're ready to go, and we'll start this thing, guys. Thank you for your patience while we got all set up today. We're going to try to, let's see what his top score is, actually. Level 79. Top score is, wow, hasn't even tried APOC 2 yet. Gear's probably not great for what we're trying to do, right? That's pretty low account level, but let's see what we can manage. I know he said he awakened his Kagiri, which should help. He already did this? Why? All right, well, I guess we're just doing APOC 2 today. I think he might have screwed me. Did he already lock me out of some units? Why would you do that? It's Tuesday. I mean, we can see what we can do, but wow, he used Torador and he used Ingrid? Oh, sorry. He used Torador and Ingrid. If he doesn't have Leia, we might be a little screwed. Okay, he has Leia. Wow, that is insane. That's insane. Is this the wrong account? No? This is a crisis. Why would he do this? We're losing Twyla, Sun Wukong, Torador, Ingrid, Diao Chan. And at least he didn't use like Eloin. We lost an A5 Diao Chan. I mean, Sun Wukong. All right, we got to get Leia to 6. Gonna take a little longer than we thought. Jeez. Thank you very much for subscribing. Oh, wow. Not having Wukong's gonna kill us. I mean, I'm gonna have to bring a stunner now, probably. No Torador, no Wukong. You're saying reset your Wukong? There's no world. That world never has existed, never will exist. Don't die, Volca. Don't die, Volca. Does he have Rygar? I didn't even see that. That could help a lot. All right, that should be okay. Test. All right, sorry, I just need to get this all sorted now. I don't know what you don't understand about it. There's a button that says sell non-recommended gear when you set it up. See, auto sell non-recommended gear. Make sure you have the good recommendation settings you want and do it. That's all it is. All right, let that run for Leia. Said he had a Rygar? I can't build a Rygar from scratch. Now the most annoying thing when you're picking your team, it's not going to show us the stuff. Did he get Rivenhold? He did. Okay. Here's your little Rivenhold tutorial, I guess. We'll see if we run him with a faction or not. Does he have Esotericists? Okay, we can still do this. But like this. I mean, he's got crazy heroes. Let's be honest about that. How are we doing on melee units? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty fine. Should we run like a Lucius? We need a stunner. Maybe we just run like Nazim. As I said, it bores the doors. I mean, also a Helga wouldn't be not built. I feel like his Nazim's not going to be built then. Wow, we are really, really low on XP too. Maybe I should have done Helga, because I already regret not doing Helga. Let's see if he has any of those old chests. How much? I have a whole menu on my website. You can check it out. There's a link in the description, guys, to see takeover details. Okay, nice. we're kind of screwed right now. All right, let's see where we're at now. 14. Oh my. All right. Now we're at 34. Let that run for a minute and then we can hop in. And we'll see if we can. I'm going to have 20 minutes, so we'll see if we can do this in 20 minutes, huh? All right. As soon as this run's done, I think we'll have enough mats from both. Okay, let's see. Let's see. All right, I'm just setting this up on the side. Okay, shall we? We'll let this last one go. No worries. The website will be all fixed soon, guys. Don't worry. All right, let's see. Okay. Let's get after it. All right, let's see how fast we can do this. Wish me luck. Freaking pray for me. First things first, let's pick our team because it never saves, which is infuriating. Here's our Leia. A1 Lucius. Okay. Ooh, A1 Draylin. Definitely bring her. We forgot a tank, didn't we? Actually, Riven. No, we should use Draylin. Let's use our little trio. And we need healers. This. What am I missing? A stunner? Am I missing something else? What do you think, chat? Did I forget a role? Okay, so we have only a 0, but still. AoE damage reduction, a more AoE damage reduction with final reduction, boosting. Invig, we forgot. Yeah, we forgot something. All right, let's ditch Nezah. Takeover is a challenge because he already ran his APOC 1 by accident. All right, so we're gonna enter battle, so it saves our formation. Hate that we have to do that, but we do. I mean, we still have some pretty OP units. It's just gonna be how quickly can we throw this together. Let's quit out. Assuming we're gonna have a lot of units that aren't built either. All right, let's get Kagiri into the best gear possible. Let's try. Let's see. All right, we're already cooked. Very, very tight on gear. Oh my god, we're completely and utterly cooked. Don't look now, guys, but we're completely cooked. All right. Nice. Wow. All right, there's our solo DPS. All right, this fool. We have enough. I think even, yeah, we got enough. Yeah, shout out to Chady in the chat. You guys can definitely go check out his channel. Great CC. Soup, can you call the dogs? All right, next up, let's go Numera. That had I'm trying to save the HP bonus for the people that really need it. I mean, this Numera and Kagiri are gonna already carry most of everything. Who's next? Born. Okay, tanky boy. Looks good. Let's do, this is good. I might just run her an Infernal Roar just to be running something. It doesn't really matter. We don't even need anything that good, just something like half good. It's good enough. Hey. Yeah, everyone go like R-Type stream. Okay, I think that basically does it, right? Let's do Nazim now. Is that just the basic? I skip it. That's a great piece. That should definitely be good enough, right? Let's look at the HP. Looks good to me. Okay, up next, let's just go, let's do Rivenhald. Definitely want to run Rivenhald in a Helm of Helios, guys. Okay. How many floor units do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's run Draylin. That's crazy. Doing APOC 2. Okay. I know, broken set here. Okay. All right, home stretch. I've done these gearings a lot. That's why I can go fast. I'm also in a little bit of a rush because we're losing time here. Let's go like that. It's okay. All right, I think we're good. So we've got Wings on Rivenhald. We've got Invig on Elowin. Hopefully we can get the placements fast enough. We want Rivenhald towards the middle. We want Numera towards the side. Let's go like this. 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 Those are our four, right? I placed Draylen too early. I want Kagiri, Rivenhald, Numera, Elowin. Where is she? Let's change that again, sorry. Let's go Kagiri, Rivenhald, yeah. Numera, Elowin, okay. Raylan. Okay, then we go Nastia, Vorn. Yeah, Leia, Marissa, Azim. Okay. I feel pretty good about this, to be honest. The gearing went pretty well, I think. Should have triggered Kagiri a little earlier, but it's okay. Damage is okay. It's not special. Honestly, Nazim's going to save the day, and then it will just come out to how many times we can blow the Aegis phase. Mango's here too, guys. Go check out Mango's channel. We got a lot of content creators in the chat. Cool thing with Nastia and Vorn is they've got their autos, so that's pretty nice for us. Look at that chunk Kagiri just took off. Rivenal's rage regen, I don't know what it is. They make it so hard for him to come back around. Vorn and Kagiri, that thing will never be there. And then Numeras, this is actually a very good comp. If our gear was better, we could do this like in our sleep. But gear's not better, so we'll have to stay awake, which isn't the end of the world. This is A3 Kagiri. It's still good, but... messed up Numera there a little bit, but you should definitely not A2 your Kagiri. There's literally no point in doing that. Don't do anything to him until you can get to A3. Numera's not A3 or higher, and the builds aren't that great. That's how. I'm also only using Numera's ult during the in-between phases. I'm saving it, where Vorn is ulting all the time because he's on auto. That's the main reason. Like, I'm timing Numera's ult for the explosion because we don't need it earlier, but Vorn's on auto ult, so he's just going all the time. You see, I'm just sitting on Numera. Now she'll do a huge chunk of damage. Broken set. I mean, it's possible. I was going as fast as I could. We'll still be okay. He's never even done APOC 2 before. His record's like 28K on APOC 1. He's a more casual player. He's got a good roster, but it's a pretty low level account relative to everything. I can't imagine it's going to be autoable. Okay. Good. A little early there. The autos are really, really unreliable until you have like extremely high DPS to limit variance, or you've got like a Dasami or something to make the cleanses really consistent. We're definitely going to get 120k. Okay. I'd probably just reset your auto. With Dasami, it should work if you have, unless your gear is very tight. That lineup with Kagiri there is brutal. Ugh. think we can clear one more Aegis after this, maybe two. Probably not though. Oh, I missed the click. Yeah, well, maybe I think just one more Aegis. So we'll get him like 150 maybe? There's 120. If you want to get in touch about a takeover, the details are in the description. Oh, Nazim, now the run's broken. Jeez. So annoying. Oh, we got nothing. We got nothing. And I don't have any shields coming or anything. We're completely toast. Oh, come on. Rivenald. Save the day. Look at the shields. Let's go. Save Draylen for the next one. He's almost back. Too late. I mean, we don't need him now. All right, this is gonna be towards the end now, but hey, we got the 120. They got 28k on APOC 1. He hadn't done APOC 2 yet. In his defense, I think he was waiting for me to do it. He first reached out like a week ago before we booked it. The next stun phase is going to be the really, really hard one. I should have not done Leia. That was so dumb. Nice. All right. He sucks. Even with the shields. Oh, the shield didn't reach. Ugh, I see. Oh, we got to get this kill fast. All right, well, this is definitely the last Aegis we're going to be able to do, even if we can get it. So that's good to know. I think we're going to just miss it. Oh, I should have waited for Rivenhall. That was stupid. God, Kagiri. Oh my gosh. These keep not lining up. Wow, that was tight. Look how close that is. Did we get it? Wow, that was crazy. All right, well, I think we might break 200K. The ads are how I'm able to be streaming right now, dude. Shouldn't be that many. Might have just messed that up. Yeah, I think I just really blew that. You only had 4 ads and they were all skippable? Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. That's crazy. I had the full freaking 12. Oh my god. All right, let's see if we can shield through this. Wow, we can. The shields are crazy. This is APOC 2. Yeah, he had never done APOC 2, and we're at over 220k now. It's pretty good. All right, let's see if we can take out this Aegis phase. Ribbonhalt's ult takes so long to come back around. It's crazy. He also doesn't have Ireless, so we don't have the extra little bit. As a hero, Leia's definitely the best, but I'd say overall Torador still gets the edge just because he's like the best from his faction and he's very relevant. But yeah, in like a vacuum, Leia's the best. I missed that Kagiri. Are you serious? Oh. Yeah, we're not gonna beat this, but hey, good run. Over 230k. And this wasn't even with his best possible team. He already used up his Ingrid. He already used up his Diao Chan. He used up his A5 Wukong, who would have been probably our top DPS for this. Also, it sounds like maybe I messed up Leia's gear a little bit, or Lumera's gear a little bit. Yeah, definitely we could get. Just goes to show you how hero dependent APOC is. Wow, as I'm getting that shield down, are you serious? We still weren't gonna have the damage, but all right, there you go, guys. We're gonna keep streaming, but I'm gonna switch over to a different game. So if you want to hang out, that'd be great. If you just want to lurk, that would also be great. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Yeah, we're gonna do a little. There's like the global championships in Etheria are right now, so we're gonna watch that. But yeah, if you want to support the channel and just want to lurk at least, that'd be pretty huge and helpful. And let's save that. With better gear, easily 400, but yeah, he's gonna get all those achievements now. Why don't I wait until the Earth Shatter? Because the timing was tough, and I was just trying to go fast and get it done. Lurking is like when you stay in the chat, even if you're not watching. Like if you don't want to watch, but you want to support, you know. All right, thank you guys very much. If you want to hang out or lurk, that'd be awesome. Let's get into it. Let's see what they're up to.
Interesting to see him make his way into the matchup here. Kind of interesting to see Hellkid getting brought out from solos as well. So channeling his inner.
Actually, do I want the chat?
But he's showing, right, a flex of bruises,
Yeah,
control, cleave, and that's
let's see.
Really
let's see what they're up to.
Right now is where the players that are shining is they can flex and adapt to their opponent's drafts. Easier said than done, but it's really paying off.
Obviously, with Santic, you're looking at obviously boosting up Lilium, boosting up Freya potentially in terms of the crit damage and the crit percentage. But then you can also reduce critical strike rate of the enemy team as well, reduces their effect accuracy too. So has plenty of
skill cooldown resets, I believe, and some healing.
Got some skill cooldown resets there. Yeah, and also applies to shells as well, so you can actually hit shells with that too. So let's see where we end up. It is actually going to be the. Was that the what was taken out from the low end? Was taken out, I guess, from the Freya.
I was talking about the low end is definitely out of there. Was there a Ray Mary pick maybe?
I'm gonna change all the info right now.
Ray Marie is out of this. It's Lowen and Ray Marie that got taken out here.
Gotcha. Okay, well, looks like Iron has sort of free reign on the initiative front. Gonna apply that big skill 3 here, and this is a beautiful time to apply it. Gonna provide his team so much survivability. Look at the buffs on the side of Iron. And Solo's comp is not really made to outlast. Lilium now getting up next, and that's gonna be bad. Doesn't quite kill the Born, though. Maybe Nahor can bring it back.
And we do have Nahor now. Actually going to go for just a single target here. I was expecting him to try and maybe go for something bigger than that, but they are just trying to focus down the Lilium.
Resets X might have landed, and so we're seeing a bit of a change up. Unfortunately, we don't have the ability to check the turns, but I believe that did happen.
Pyrobane, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we do have the Freya AoE ready to come through. That actually
this guy Ex-Scoundrel, I actually know him. Really nice guy.
HP. He will
insanely knowledgeable about all the games he plays.
This is looking pretty good here for INM. He's pushing Solos and bullying Solos in this first round. Solos hasn't really got a great way back in, and surely now going to just concede after losing the Nahor as well.
That's
Clearly is impressive in his third matchup, as he has been throughout the majority of the game and of the tournament even. And Solos just got battered in that first round.
Absolutely. I couldn't speak highly enough of Solos, but Iron is really showing to be the strongest player thus far. Don't count out Solos just yet. This guy is typically losing. I think every single set he's played today, he's lost at least one, but he tries to bring it back. But the problem is Scoundrel Iron is just so dominant, taking out the strongest players thus far and really showing that even in this lineup, I think he has maybe a potential speed advantage too.
Yeah, he dominated there, and I think Solos has lost every single first round game that he's had. So this is not out of the ordinary for him. This is some would even say potentially par for the course for Solos. But what it has shown is that INM actually immediately banned the Doki Doki.
Right.
So INM came into this pre-banning the Doki Doki so that Solos can't get his hands on what has felt like his most important character thus far. And that
you've been shouting from the rooftop.
All right, guys, let's get settled in. So this is the regional quarterfinals. This is to get people
it really showed there
to the Etheria Restart World Summit finals. Those are going to take place in Asia in person. I think 16 people make it to the offline final. Pretty cool stuff. If you're interested in playing it all or checking the game out, let me drop a link for you in the chat. Definitely worth a look. They're always updating stuff now. The game's changed a lot.
A very weird Doki Doki, right? Even that in itself is for me, that's threatening enough. Like Doki Doki with Codex and Magic is just not a typical Doki Doki build, and so you're like, that's weird enough for me to be
like,
I don't want to deal with that.
Fantasy Star, it's like a kind of a classic turn-based game, but what's really cool, it's a gacha, but it's mostly just focused on PvP.
How he operates. Obviously, then also gets the first restricted pick too. So you get the first pick, and you get the first chance to lock in your restricted pick. So we're going to see actually no Doki Doki ban from INM here. And we'll see Solos. Actually, Ray Marie is going to take the first pick this time around. Solos is going to take Freya in response and Lily. So Freya and Lily in response. I wonder, I don't think you can take Doki Doki after this. I think that would be an absolutely wild restricted lock-in.
Thank you, Unknown Silent. Appreciate it, guys.
Because you're really hamstringing your comp slightly. But we'll have to see how INM responds.
It's a little too much utility, right? Where you're leaving yourself at the mercy of a ban that kind of leaves your draft unfinished. That being said, Iron taking the Doki in kind, and with the Fusho showing that he's going to tank down. We're going to see Iron being the player. This is what I like about him, the flexibility. So he's going to be, the Doki's still there to threaten. If you aren't fast enough, he will take the first turn and punish you. But also with that Fusho, the Ray Mary, he's going to have the ability to not only just go fast, but also kind of play a longer match. A Tsukiyomi X-Counter, we haven't seen her yet today.
This is Solos wants to go real fast. Locked in Messiah, locked Lily, locked Tsukiyomi. It's just looking to advance Messiah to the front. Yeah, he wants to advance Messiah to the front about 1,000 times. Veronica's going to come in as a pickup here for Iron M. Looking to
this
see
is a
how
character I'm not 100% familiar with. She's newer. I've only read through the kit, but I've never played her. But all these others are classic meta units for PvP in this game.
In this situation.
Can you purchase your Etheria takeover? Yeah, DM me. We can chat. Sorry, I know you asked forever
ago. It's actually going to
ago.
force Iron to think about this a little bit more. Like, Iron's really going to have to think about, okay, how do I actually deal with this? Like, this is interesting. I can't get rid of the Messiah. He's got plenty of utility support the Messiah. Maybe just getting rid of the Nahor is like, well, okay, I guess I'll just deal with how fast he is. He can't get much faster, but actually could get rid of the
The problem is if you get rid of the Nahor, this is the old school cleave where the Lily Tsukiyomi combo is very scary. You have two units threatening to push at the Messiah, and they don't have to attack you. So units like Veronica may not be able to cut in between to interrupt the game plan. So let's see what happens. But this could be a quick one if Solos' Messiah does enough damage.
Who are you rooting for, guys? Who do you think?
I
think I'm rooting for this team because they got my girl Fushu.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, he's going to open with the ult from Freya. Not something that we see often. He's obviously just analyzing the turn meter and thinking that's the best move that he can make here.
Yeah, and it is well calculated, right? Because the Lily does the lab. You did see a huge push up for the Veronica, but luckily the Lily's still fast enough to get this game plan going. Now the problem is now she gets to cut in between and sort of put up the S3 if Iron wants it to kind of mitigate that Messiah. The problem is the Nahor is coming up next, so let's see how this pans out.
Nahor. I always call him.
Yeah, he's gone for it. Nahor maybe going for the ult, potentially.
Can't imagine it's pronouncing Nahor.
It's just such a tricky lineup. You have unit after unit, and the Iron is doing a perfect job of having units that can kind of interrupt the flow from Solos. You have the Doki also threatening to go next, which if they happen to, if she presses S3 before that Messiah, it could be very, very tough.
Yeah,
so
I'm rooting for this
right now, between the S2, S3 most likely.
I'm gonna root for the blue team.
Just gonna go for the S2.
This team with
Doki.
Yeah.
I see.
But I think
got my girl Tiamat too.
because he likes this longer matchup, right? Being the turn 2 player, if Fusho gets to press S3, if he gets any sort of buffs before that Messiah, that's how he wins this game. That being said, the Messiah is finally going to come through. Let's see the damage.
I mean, Doki's dead, right? So Doki's dropped. That S2 was a good pickup from Nahor, so Doki's out of the picture. Not going to go much longer. We still do have the Fushu Tiamat combo, which can be really challenging to deal with.
Oh, yeah.
But looking pretty good so far. Honestly, if you solos, I think it's been a good response. Pretty low HP on the Nahor, so things can be leveled out pretty quickly, but does now have the ultimate ready as well.
Yeah, let's see the debuffs. That's going to be bad for Iron because now the Doki is out of there, and you have Nahor able to control the field.
Yeah, not looking great if you're Iron in this situation. Now, like we've got to can't count out the fact that we've still got a Fushu Tiamat combo. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage, but not enough. So, not enough just yet to do anything significantly meaningful. We do have the Veronica breaking out here. Obviously, the Tiamat does have the Amber as well. The Veronica will get focused down once more. We'll break out of it, but it is now going to be the only option is the AoE, but nothing too crazy there. We'll actually bring the Veronica into, sorry, the Tiamat into the transformation here. Is that going to do enough damage? That's a lot of damage.
It's going to be close.
Yeah, I think the Messiah turns where you have S3. He didn't have the buffs that he wanted, and so the damage, even though it was significant, wasn't enough.
This is a cool thing about the game, right? They're using Freya over here. I think that's Freya.
Interrupt off
and
the
like
back
Freya
of
was
that
the
S2
first
Veronica.
ever
Iron is
like limited rate up hero in this game.
Trying to take this game for himself.
He had first hero to get her on.
He's trying to focus down the Tiamat here.
And she's still relevant here almost a year later.
We are going to have the Freya coming through, which will do a little bit of turn meter.
Actually, except for Holden.
Veronica. Yeah,
except for Holden and I mean everyone that's left besides Holden is no G.
She's not allowed onto the field when you want to be the aggressor. Even though like Solos kind of had an interesting first turn with that Nahor where he really beautifully danced around the Doki, you're showing that the Messiah wasn't able to clean up, and the power of the Tiamat is enough to seal the deal for Mr. Iron M.
Wow, beautiful stuff from INM. Showed that he's got that adaptability to play multiple different styles. I thought when he lost Doki Doki that he was on the back foot, but we've seen time and time again, if you get that Fushu ult running with the Tiamat, it can get really scary. Also, just really saw the power of Veronica in this matchup as well. Just honestly, just came into her own versus the Freya especially, and really, really powerful stuff from Veronica, kind of showcasing why so many people have been banning her and kind of keep trying to take her off the table. And I think just like ultimately piloted extremely well there by INM, and that means INM is now in our winner bracket upper final.
Winner bracket.
Winner bracket grand
Shout
final.
out to Iron
So
Man.
that is, he's
I think should we just root for Iron Man?
The winner of it is
at least for now, until he finds someone we like
in
more.
A rematch against Matchroom. So Matchroom has the ability to get a bit of a comeback against Solos in the next matchup. But INM swiftly dispatching Solos here felt very, very convincing. Really, I mean, honestly, super impressive player. He's really impressed me, making a great name for himself heading into next year.
Absolutely. This guy is looking unbeatable, like a true threat. And honestly, his style actually reminds me a little bit about Kecker, where they have a lot of different, they have fast units, but they have flexibility where they have a lot of different play styles ready to go. Maybe the truest form of like a standard style, right? You saw Iron there take initiative in game 1 against a player like Solos, who also likes to go fast, but in game 2 was able to flex into the team at Fusho. But as you saw, the difference is he has enough tools to interrupt his opponent's game plan.
Absolutely. Let's take a look back at some of the moments from that.
Let's look at the moments.
Bracket final.
Show us the moments, Mr. X Scoundrel. Let's see those moments.
Look at the highlights.
I like that. I like these tones though. Nahor got a huge buff a couple patches ago. No one used him, and now he's so playable. Great unit.
Welcome back, everybody. We are 2 games away, 2 rounds away from crowning our final winner here, our grand final winner for the global server qualifiers. And it's going to be someone taking on INM, and that someone is either going to be Matchroom.
We're going to see the final. That's really
in a
exciting.
Rematch in the lower bracket final for these guys. Matchroom just saw Solos go up against INM in that upper bracket final with Dispatch pretty quickly, and now has the chance to claim a bit of revenge in this next matchup. Again, obviously Solos comes in with the advantage, kind of did what he could, but now having seen taking that Doki Doki off the table, wondering whether that is going to be something that Matchroom says, okay, I should probably do that from the get-go. Maybe that's something that I also need to think about, because INM did the same thing and he made it look relatively easy. So wondering whether Matchroom's going to do the same thing here, Kar.
Yeah, for sure. This is favorable for, Solos, you saw, did beat him. However, now you have a chance to reset, make some adaptations, and you watched kind of the game plan go through where you were saying Iron sort of really, really dismantled Solos' gameplay. The problem I foresee, though, is that Watchroom is a little more textbook. He really likes his playstyle and doesn't deter too far from it. So maybe if he kind of identifies sort of a Doki scenario, maybe
really
just make some minor
low
adjustments
on, we
to where
look
he
her
has
up.
more
I'll boot
interrupts
up the
going
game
through,
and we can
then I think
he
has a lot
I haven't
of
really
room
looked at her either since she came out.
Sort of the not misplays, excuse me, sort of the mishaps that happened earlier in their previous round.
Obviously, Matchroom, like you said, he's a bit more standard, maybe not as adaptable as someone like INM, who's shown that he's got the capability to do lots of things. But it doesn't matter, because Matchroom plays what he plays extremely well, and like he said, just maybe picking up on some of the sort of the things that some of his competitors have been doing to try and take down Solos.
What's up, Todd? How you doing?
I mean, Solos has fought his way back into every game he's played, apart from versus INM, where he very quickly got thrown to the wayside. So now Matchroom going to have to take those learnings and take Solos on in yet another best of 3. Obviously, Solos coming in knows how he beat Matchroom before, but if things change up, if the ban strategy changes, if the pick and bans kind of differ from what we saw previously, then maybe things will be a little different here. We will have to see. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Solos banning away the Veronica, the Heinrich getting banned here by Matchroom. So this is looking relatively familiar from those previous games.
Yeah, both players. Solos really doesn't like to fight that Veronica. We just saw what happens when Veronica is present against him. And likewise for Watchum, he's had a lot of games where the Heinrich was just such a thorn in his side. Either he left it up and
I
his
love
solo
Heinrich.
low
That was my
could
first
not handle
LD ever.
the amount of debuffs he brought out, or he had to ban it, in which case something else more problematic came through. So having that pre-ban, I really like from Watchum's side.
Absolutely. The Doki Doki's getting locked in straight away into the protected slot. It will be the Lily and the Tiamat, the Fushu, the Lowan coming in on Matchroom. So
people were so low on Doki when she came out.
Here from these pick and ban phases for solos and Matchroom. Messiah on the table as well for solos. I'm wondering whether that might even be the ban over Raymarie, just given the power that you know that particular Messiah has here. That'll be something for Watchroom to consider.
Well, we see we need another power. I mean, we do have the Raymarie, but like you were mentioning, we've seen the Power Messiah. We've also seen Doki, so we have the Lilium also to threaten. So if you do want to ban that Raymarie, you can't just
so interesting. So many people with these games, maybe it's an anime gaming thing, but so many people.
I could be misremembering, but I think
so many people are like the Doki Doki, the Tiamat, instead of just calling the character Doki Doki Tiamat. They call it the Lily, not Lily. I've noticed so many of these people say that. Does anyone know why they do that? Does that come from another game, or is that like cultural? I don't get it.
Oh yeah.
There's two Todds. What's up, Todd Sandlin and OMG? It's Todd. How you guys doing? Two Todds in the chat. That's how you know it's a good stream.
By the Doki Doki, so that's the worry that you're going to have here. So you know Doki Doki's going to push Messiah and Lilium forward. So this could be a quick one for solos, but if you can make it through the first few rounds, it might be in favor of Matchroom.
One other scary thing is we haven't seen this interaction thus far, but the Lilium has that HP destroy.
The Lilium,
so
you hear that?
The Messiah doesn't do enough damage here in this opening, which is looking like some big damage.
Oh my gosh.
You have that Lilium HP destroy. However, I think that the Tiamat is so low that she may just proc that Amber early, which does reset the HP lock.
It does indeed, and she is very low. We do have the heal coming out. We do have a cut in here from Ling Luo, but it's just about whether the damage from Lilium is enough to take down. Depends on who she targets. I guess she could target and try and proc the Amber ASAP.
Either that, or if she doesn't kill, okay, it is enough to proc it. Yeah, you're right, X. So we do proc that early, and her being lower health-ish is going to reduce the damage a little bit. Oh, that was still
already untransformed. That's not good.
And now you have that Fusho coming up, and Solos did not get enough value out of those early turns as he may have wanted.
No, he will have the Doki Doki obviously on the
is this
Codex
like
and
the
Magic
third
potentially
place?
to do something here, but you can't
This is like consolation
cooldown
right
reduction
now?
and turn meter manipulation here. So that's something that you're going to have to consider. No low HP targets. He's actually going to go for the cooldown reduction primarily. Looked at where we are in terms of the turn meters. Happy to say, well, hopefully I can get another ult off on someone. But it is a very healthy set of HP bars on the side of Matchroom for the time being.
That's right. Solos does have one more round with all the skill cooldown resets potentially. But like you were talking about, the Doki had to pick between certain options, at least for the Lilium. Messiah, though, will get a back-to-back S3. The damage enough to put himself in a 4v3 scenario. But the Tiamat, despite not having Amber, still looking a little bit low. And that was huge, getting the Lilium out of there. She was about to take a turn. And so this is looking like it could be Watchum's match.
Getting the Lilium out of there.
Don't blink.
Still close, still lots to play for. We do have the turn meter advancement of this Messiah. It's going to put him almost in front of the Ling Luo. She will heal back up. Obviously, Messiah does not have his S3 available, so he's got to be a little worried about that. But obviously, right now, you're also seeing the stacking damage. Actually, we do get a cut in from the TM. Actually, does get another proc here. That might be Doki Doki going down. It is damage. Now it is just Messiah and Plume versus the world. I don't think Messiah is going to have enough here to get him through.
Oh, Tiamat team for sure is going to win this.
I think that debuff, that Ling cleanse, the defense break, it still may have not been enough. And now you're seeing the power of this pretty healthy Tiamat just knocking down all the opponents. And I don't think this solo Messiah from Solos will be able to clutch it out.
Nope, he's going to just say, GG, no way I can do this with just the Messiah by itself. And Watchum managed to deal with the Doki Doki. First time we've seen Solos is Doki Doki dealt with nicely there. And again, very classic double sustained Tiamat comp that worked out. Not enough damage. The double Amber coming in clutch as well. Really, really making it difficult. I mean, Amber is basically the direct counter to these types of characters where you're just like, you know, they're looking for the one-shot burst.
Should be all set up now, guys. So I think we can settle in and just...
and then you have the Amber minute, you're
Enjoy
like,
the
gamers,
gamers,
So,
well, that's why I think the difference was
Okie
watching
Doki's
with the
Fallout
pre-ban on
4
the Heinrich,
series.
and then in combination, it was a little bit awkward, right, between the Messiah
Okie Doki's just
doing
an
so much
expression. It
damage,
just means
even
like,
though Lilo
okay.
killed, you had that follow from the Lily,
her name's
who wants
Doki
the
Doki,
HP destroy
not
Tiamat as well,
Okie Doki.
but she did so much damage, she actually just
Yeah, it
procced
does sound
that
really
Amber
close,
that you were
actually.
talking about, and that resets everything, and that bought him the time to kill that Lillian, so she was almost like a non-factor.
kill
If
that
maybe,
Lillian.
I don't know if we could have adjusted. The
bought her
problem
the
is when you have
time.
your units built a certain way, you have to, press those turn meter pushes in order, and so it just didn't quite work out for solos. I like that adaptation from watching.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and we're going to see this going into the next matchup here as well. Obviously, the winner of this will go on to take on INM in the grand final best of 5. If Watchim can do it, he will find himself matched up against INM for the first time in this tournament. And then that'll be a really interesting matchup if Solos can claw his way back. Because remember, Solos in every single matchup that he's won has always been
Thumbnail should be
0-1
updated now
down
too,
at the start of
guys.
that. So he
You're just
still
joining
has
us.
the
Thank you for
potential to
being
make his
here.
way
We're
back
checking
into
out
this.
a game that might be new to
Just from
some
what
of
we see
you.
here, he has
It's a
that
game I've
very,
been
very
playing
easy
actually since
potential to make
before it
a
even
reverse sweep
launched,
happen.
since
So,
the
still
last
a lot
closed
to play
beta,
for,
or the last open beta, I
if you're
should say.
Solos in this situation.
Here's a download link if you want to check it out.
Solos,
Definitely
I
worth a
wouldn't even
look.
put that as a mark against them, right?
It's pretty
You could
fun.
be
It's definitely a
iron
nice
this
change of
cleat
pace if
2-0
you're coming
against
from like
most
Watcher of
opponents, but I
Realms.
think having that
It's still a
adaptability,
gacha
that
game, but it's
flexibility,
definitely more
you kinda feel like
PvP
your opponent,
oriented,
see
and
what
it's
they do, and then you
turn-based.
come back 2-1
I'd say it's like a
them,
pretty
is
good
also
kind of
a sign of
turn-based.
strength. So,
It's definitely
I
like a
think
great
he's
change of
definitely
pace
still a
game,
viable
or maybe
factor,
more than that
but
if you really
in all
like
honesty,
it.
Scoundrel,
So
I
you can
kinda
check it
wanna see
out. Link is
Watch
pinned in
him
the chat.
tackle Iron,
It's also
as we
in the
haven't seen that
description.
yet,
I
and
also
maybe
just put it in
he
the chat.
is the secret to making the god bleed, as you could say.
Could be. You know, he pilots these bruiser comps really well, maybe better than anybody else that we've seen in the tournament so far. We are waiting to head into the next match of this, the next pick and ban phase, and we are already there now. So you can see,
You see this guy in the chat. Solos go farm shell and modules.
It's going to be Lumaward and D-Ting.
That's the equivalent of being like, go get better gear and artifacts.
Boom, already locked in for the side of matching.
This is the, if anyone
Okay, so
played
a
when the
little
game
bit of
came
a
out,
change up here thus
D-Ting
far.
is
You
like
still
the
see the
best
Heinrich,
single
and I like
target
that. I
epic
want
DPS,
Watchim to stick
SR
with that. It might be a
DPS.
little
He
different
got an
because it's a game
SSR
too.
version.
And now
I think
the
he's
Fusho is
defense
not a
based now. The
factor. I would say
Luma
Watchim
Ward
really
D-Ting,
like to
pretty
rely
cool.
on the Tia plus Fusho combo, but this time around he still has the low end. That is probably going to draw out a ban unless he has something even crazier up his sleeve. But Solos may kind of opt to play a slower, more standardized lineup.
Ling Luo, interesting, not going for the Doki Doki lock in here. Maybe feels like it's not going to actually win him the game based on what he's seen so far. So it is going to be the Ling Luo lock in that side, and obviously we'll then have the option to lock in something else. And we'll then see Plume go for his lock in. That is wild. Not Awakened. You can't have Awakened Sanya in this tournament. So you are just
Very
looking
funny
at
because
normal Sanya.
Yeah, this character used to be, right, in the last tournament we casted, she was already kind of falling off a bit, but before that, she was one of the powerhouse healers, even more picked than units like Ling Lo. She might have a come up again with this awakening, but I think what we're seeing here is Solos pre-ban the Fusho, steals the Ling, and puts Watchim in a scenario where, you know, he's a tank down player, he needs his sustain, and so he's going to have to opt for like the second string healer.
Yeah, and I guess he would like end up here with like a Tiamat, but Tiamat gets. I mean, this is what I was saying. So it just takes
Apparently
Tiamat. Like,
Ronaldo's
where
out.
do you go if you're
not
watching?
good.
Obviously, you've got things like the
That's our
Bahu
boy.
available, which could still be pretty good. You know, one of the benefits that Sanya offers is she does actually have a resurrect, which is obviously a big deal sometimes. But you do get resurrected on a very low HP, to be honest with you. Bjorn gonna get locked in though, so no Rahu will be the Bjorn. Definitely probably was hoping to get towards more of a Tiamat comp here, but Solo's piloting something very different and a difficult one to know what to ban on as well.
Yeah, we could just see another Respect Ray Mary Lowen ban, get the
Let's
two
look up
powerhouse
low
units
end.
out of the way.
Let's look up some of these new
instead we're gonna
units.
see
I mean, I'm not even that
Plume,
familiar, so I'm
ban
assuming
from
some of you
the
guys
side
might
of
not be
Solo,
that
so
familiar.
Lowen,
Like, I remember when they came
was gonna
out, but
make
I've
it
been trying to
through.
save
So the
summons and
damage
not be
from,
too
Lowen
aggressive.
could be significant.
Since I'm playing a
Really
bit more
depends
casually,
how
so
much
let's see what's all
mitigation
about.
like D-Ting can provide early, and if it can buy enough time for the Ling Lo Tiamat to take over.
I'll make them regret it.
Well, here we go. We are heading into this game.
If anyone plays
Kind of
Raid,
favouring Solo slightly.
this
I
other
don't know,
announcer
maybe
sounds
just
like
as the,
his voice sounds like
the way he
Boozer.
drafted, the way he adapted, feel like he's in a good spot, but things obviously aren't always 100% what they seem. You can never really tell until you get into game. I don't know enough about Bjorn and how he's doing. We are going to get the immediate health buff. Obviously, you don't get the full cooldown reduction if no one's dead on Sanya, so we're going to get the immediate health buff coming through from the Sanya's ultimate. We do now have Bjorn's option to use his ultimate. He's not going to bother with it just for the time being, though. They're going to try and focus down Tiamat as much as she can. She is at 3 stacks, though, so looking like she's entering to a spot where can be difficult. I think they've just stolen 1 buff from Ling Luo, like they stole 1 buff. But, you know, that's fine.
Yeah, no, circling back to your early analysis, I think you're on point. I think Solo's put Watchman in an uncomfortable position where he has to pick units that he may not want, right? He doesn't have his top prio, Fusho, Ling Luo, Tiamat, but he has the backups to Sanya the Born, and he actually got low and through. So
and then he's got the new D-Ting.
You really can't tell what's going to happen until the match
progresses
progresses a bit.
Second, let's take a look at the new D-Ting. I should have summoned. I still have leftover stuff on the Kraken account over here. I chose not to. Let's go to the gallery or the archive. All right, let's see. The Luma Ward D-Ting. Charges forward, deals defense damage, 15% chance to increase all Animus's cooldowns by 1 turn. That's pretty crazy to have built in. What is that at max level? 25% on his S1. Decreases the turn meter, decreases turn meter decrease effects on all allies by 80%. That's really, really nice. Really great team utility. Single target triple hitter with each hit dealing damage, scaling off his defense, 30% chance to reduce the target's turn meter by 35%. Is that on each hit? Does anyone know? Can someone tell me? And then AoE double hitter, each hit dealing damage, pretty good damage, scaling off the defense, 50% chance to place a decreased speed, and then a torpor. This attack also applies 3-turn Sanctolin. The torpor, they can't gain turn meter increase. That's pretty great. Very PvP oriented. And then Sanctolin, that's for 3 turns. When taking damage, blocks damage equal to 110% of his defense and reduces damage taken to at least 20% of the original. Wow, really, really good. He makes your comp super tanky.
A bit earlier where you take those slight advantages, trying to get the maximum value out of your big cooldowns, and this is where I think Watchroom actually shines. So even if he may be slightly disadvantaged in the draft, don't count him out, because I think he navigates the bruiser versus bruiser very well.
You can see the low one come through, obviously not banned this time round, and we do need to consider that is going to be a big deal, because obviously Tiamat taken down very low. She is close to transforming, and she will transform here just off that Sanya hit, so we'll cut in and start to do a decent amount of damage. That is something to be considerate of, as Tiamat is a big damage dealer, but obviously Lowen right now,
she is pumping.
She is absolutely pumping. Obviously has to get through the Amber, so Amber's still available on the Tiamat for the time being, but if they can proc that now, might be the best sort of situation they can be in. If they can get that Amber down,
get it with Veronica too. Yeah, that's an
exactly. Get that Amber down now. Obviously, you take away all the stacks. You take her out of the Dragon form. She has to reset from the beginning. That's the best possible scenario. 1 hit of Dragon form into Amber. That's a great slot for you to be in.
Doesn't get
exactly. This is what I like about Watching. He's really shown himself to be the bruiser player, where all these other phonies are just adapting the playstyle. He sticks to it. Now, even though the characters may not be the top tier, I think he is navigating this beautifully off the back, of course, of Lowen, though. She is proving that, you know, she deserves those bans we've seen many times in the past drafts.
Yeah, Lowen's a super scary pick. They're trying to focus down the Veronica here, but Sanya are actually pumping out a lot of healing for the time being. That'll be Lumi Warden. He will use the ultimate just to start reducing damage, but obviously not actually applying it right now because Tiamat's still stuck in the Warden at the Amber phase, so she is going to be a sitting duck when she pops out of that for the time being. We're also going to get another ultimate coming up from Sanya. Big amount of AoE heal, giving everybody a maximum HP increase.
Sanya now can be like awakened and basically become like a legendary phase, normal Sanya.
Buffless, and also not looking pretty good in terms of her own stacks. She is on the chopping block, and Bjorn is going to try and push her down. And I think even here as well, with the low health threatening, it's not looking great if you're Tiamat.
Yeah, that low
Orgny got a
lockdown
big
damage
buff. He's
just
getting
really
play on
adds
the
up.
other
It's
team
twofold.
now.
You get the counter rebuttal damage. Also, the provoke is just really keeping her at bay. Without that Amber, Solos is looking he's looking really, really rough. He does have that hold in, but I don't know if he's going to be enough here, especially with this Veronica also supporting the team.
Even if we get a transformation from the Tiamat, I'm not expecting to see a huge amount coming out from her. She's lost the Amber already. They are just slowly whittling away for this time being. We do have Lumi Warden. Again, I have to agree with you. I haven't been super impressed with Lumi Warden. I haven't really felt the efficacy of that pick thus far. And you can see Tiamat is hanging on with an absolute sliver. We do have Ling Luo, though. She doesn't have our ultimate available, but might get a little bit of healing onto the Tiamat.
Just a little bit of healing. The problem is when, Tiamat's health is low, her damage is also low. So it's not a good look for Mr. Solos. And circling back to the D,
I think Solos is going to get cooked again.
These bruiser lineups, he doesn't always
Seems like
get
that's
the
what he
max
does. No
value
offense to
requires.
you,
Want to bring him
Solos.
into maybe sort of like a mixed comp.
Seems like
where
he
can
goes
get
out there and he
value
gets
out
a
of,
little
like, the
cooked,
torpor,
right?
as well as the
It's okay.
defensive
It happens to the
capabilities,
best
but you
of
just
us.
kind of see him get outpaced in these damage lineups.
Really great buff steal, by the way, and that will be the Tiamat going down now. No real major damage to speak of. Holden now absolutely buffless, and we are going to see Bjorn finally
very quickly
rip
grab
that
a glass
ultimate.
of water,
Huge amount
guys.
of
Give me
damage.
1
All looking
second.
great for Solos here. Watchum is in a commanding spot.
Please stick around. It will be 1 moment.
Yeah, leaving that low and maybe a mistake Solos will soon regret, but it's looking everything watching just playing very, very well. Even with the Sonya, which most players do not pick anymore in favor of units like Ling Lo, like Fu Shou, he's showing that he has the backup string ready to go, and he can still play them to great effect. That Veronica really just playing around, like you said, the S3 holding off until, buffs come out, getting that big steal. Despite the hold in S2, trying to keep it at bay, it's looking like everything Watchum.
Yeah, I mean, I think when he loses Watchum in this, he's gonna call it quits here. I think that was kind of the writing on the wall once the Tiamat had gone down. Very, very impressive stuff from Solos to make it this far, but Watchum books his place in the grand final here against Iron M, and that is going to be a very interesting best of 5. What an incredible matchup, though. Watchum really just skillfully displaying his comeback versus the guy that beat him earlier on today. Really sort of figured out how to navigate Solos and also perfected the way that he was playing his own comps.
And I think that kind of highlights the power of either, a best of 5 where you have those extra matches compared to best 3, or a loser's bracket, right? Because if there was no loser's bracket, Watchum would have been one and done out. But you're seeing he made those kind of adaptations he needed to beat an opponent that previously had his number.
Yeah, I mean, incredible stuff from Watchum.
All right, what did I miss? What did I miss?
Like a massive amount of shielding, loads of healing, 83.8% of all the healing done in that game.
I love that they do the final stats at the end now.
Not even dealing a significant amount of damage. You can
Thank
see,
you, Todd. Yeah, guys, don't be afraid to like the stream.
It was just the sustain that came through. Also with less actions as well. Like he was obviously getting controlled a lot more by Solos, but even just those actions really counting. Not enough damage on the side of Solos to actually punch through that really heavy sustain lineup, and Loan again proving to be a real nuisance when she's let through in these pick and ban phases.
Yeah, what a scenario.
Thank
what a
you, Soup, for
showcase
getting
for
encouraged by Todd.
You need a lot of time to just respect ban the
Let's
Loan.
check out
Just
Loan.
like players have been respect banning the Ray Mary.
Like
Once she gets to play her game plan, she locks down and does so much damage to boot.
Defense space, 360% damage, 25% chance to inflict a taunt, double the chance if the target already has exaltation.
In that upper bracket grand final versus Iron M.
Got an AoE here, 320% of her defense, 45% chance. Let's look at max. 60% chance. That's a lot better. Good accuracy build. You're good to go. Chance to inflict a 2-turn attack down and speed down. They already have exaltation. This attack is guaranteed to hit and deals an extra 60%. So exaltation, it reduces received healing and shield effects by 60%. That's crazy for PvP. Crit chance against Lowen is also reduced.
Welcome
so she's a
back,
lot harder to
everybody.
kill,
We
and
are
she's
heading
defense
into
based,
the
so she's starting to be
grand final here
tanky. Cannot inflict
on the
any
global
debuffs,
server in the,
cooldown increase,
qualifiers.
or
I'm
turn meter
super
effect
excited
on
about
Lowen.
it. We've had a full day of
After
Etheria
taking
restart
action, they
competitive
take
content,
Bone Kiss
and we
from
are
Lowen.
finally seeing our top 2 players
This
come
effect
together.
can be
Now, before we
inflicted
get
on only
into
one
it,
target. When the
log
target
in,
dies or the
use
effect
the
is
EWS
removed,
2025
it resets
global
the
code
cooldown
on your screen right now.
part.
200 crystals,
Really
100,000 Etheria coins. You get loads of
Quadruple
stuff done
single
with that.
target. Ooh,
Make
is there
sure
a new
you're
code
using
they're
crystals
talking
and your stamina though. It's the
Yeah,
most
look at that
effective
new
way to
code
use
if you
them.
guys want to check it out.
And obviously go and break
EWS
some modules, maybe you'll hit
2025
like a plus,
global.
I don't know, plus 15
So
speed
definitely,
module, and you'll
use
be
that
laughing your way to the
code,
bank. So,
especially if you're,
guys, go and make sure you log in and get that stuff done. But now let's focus our attention on this grand final. INM, who's come all the way through the upper bracket, now going up against Watchum. Now, of course, there is no reset. There is no upper bracket advantage. So INM has to go into a straight best of 5 versus Watchum. The only advantage that he's got is that he's played one less game, and he's also been able to see Watchum's performance versus solos to get a little bit more information here. So that is some of the advantages that he has coming into this. But it is now a straight best of 5 to determine the regional champion for the global server.
Well said, Scoundrel. I think Iron definitely is the favored one. Not only did he watch those last rounds where Watchum kind of made those adaptations to take out the opponent that previously beat him, but he's just been looking unbeatable, only dropping one game at the very start to Ronnie, who was another strong player, but 2-0ing Bread, 2-0ing solos. This guy is looking to be the player to beat.
This is the guy that beat Ronnie.
You know, in the best of 5, I'm not counting out Watchum. This is the match I wanted to see because I think Watchum is the one player, right, that Iron has not had. He's not
if you want to use that code,
so if someone could beat him,
definitely do it. If you want to download the game and use the code, definitely do that as well.
I got seeded horrendously.
Drop the stuff in the chat again if you guys want.
A game, so it might have been. It was a nice lineup, right?
Go.
Because otherwise,
hey, 70 likes. Thank you guys for liking the stream.
2-0s all the way through.
All the way through. Now, like you said, it could be that we are going to be looking at the Rahu getting this logged in with the protected Ling Luo, protected Tiamat on the side of INM with the Fushu available. Obviously, the Fushu could get banned.
This is the regional final right
feel
here.
A lot less useful.
Is this going to be best of 5 then? Because it's the final. Does anyone know?
Pickup. Maybe wouldn't even be surprised to potentially see a Sanya from INM, given that we saw Sanya be so effective in the previous game.
I guess we might as well root for INM. He's the one that beat Ronnie, so this way Ronnie will have lost to the winner of the region, right?
Targets for bans, so definitely worth thinking about if you're INM, but he still has to make his final pick. You can't help but feel if it's not going to be a sustain option, it's definitely a Fushu ban.
So we have the quadruple hitter, single target. Each hit deals 180% of defense.
Okay.
That's a huge amount, right?
Take another healer.
We're talking, what, 720% defense?
Show, right? The Tiamat maybe kind of left out to dry.
Their Twitch rewards, maybe, but
that is something for Watchum to consider. I like the tech piece
they actually didn't mention it. Historically, there have been Twitch rewards if you want to run it on Twitch on the side.
We saw the Lily Tiamat combo and how powerful it can be when she's just
each of the first 3 hits has a 70% chance to dispel one buff. Last hit inflicts a 2-turn and a guaranteed exaltation.
You know, I think Iron just saw Excounter the previous match how strong she can be locking down that Tiamat.
Yeah, Lowen going through, and then Lilium actually being the target for Matchum. So just worried about the single target pressure that Lilium can put out. Maybe worried that, Mio doesn't survive that. Maybe Veronica is going to be an easy target for him here. But it's going to be an interesting set of matches. It is going to be Lily that is outspeeding though. So Mio not going to get the first shot. Obviously, Mios do love to go first if they can. And it will be the Veronica now that punches her way to the front, then followed by the Mio.
Yeah, did not get any skill cooldown resets. Iron actually opting with that Lily instead of S2, going for the S3, trying to land maybe some CD resets. It doesn't look like he got too much value out of it though. And so now, even though he was outsped, Watchum has some abilities to take the initiative.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming down onto this Tiamat for the time being as well. Now, Fushu, we've got the chance to ult. It's going to start to slow things down a little bit. We should then have the
200 crystals and some coins.
So
that's good.
I think ultimately in a good spot if you are going to use the S2 as well from Matchum as well. So yeah, looking pretty good so far for both sides, realistically in a good spot for themselves.
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of dancing around the skill activations. You're also going to see maybe.
Does anyone play Raid? Doesn't this other announcer sound just like Boozer?
Tiamat. The problem I foresee though is when you have these sort of tech picks like Mio, she's getting some decent value out of here with the freezes.
You guys hear that?
A lot of times for tank down players, she can be a liability, getting taken out and putting yourself in a 4v3 scenario if your opponent didn't respect it in the ban phase. So we'll see how this pans out.
We see a buff steal come through.
Watch out.
Start to stack up those buffs on the side of Matchroom. Tiamat getting taken pretty low, but obviously does have plenty of things going for it. We'll see an S3 coming out from the Ling Luo now. Didn't really need it per se, but it's just going to pump it out. They are going to get a freeze. That's a really low percentage on the S1 on Mio, so actually getting quite lucky with the freezes coming out onto the Tiamat here. Not having a great time with your Tiamat. I don't think you've taken a single action all game so far.
So the longer this goes on, the stronger Rahu's
definitely paying off right now for Watchum, and that's exactly what he wants. This Rahu versus Tiamat a lot of times does favor, but you are fighting the likes of Plume. You have Lily as that kind of X factor where she can also provide a lot of buffs, but the Veronica, right? You talked about that buff steal earlier, and here we go. Rahu S3.
He's like Vice and Viper in one unit. Yeah, I mean, that's what it sounds like. That kid's nuts.
But now she's going to get that transformation and hopefully get some damage.
These LDSSRs are no joke, that's for sure.
Immediately drop out for the time being, but that's okay.
Watch out.
Unfortunately, loses the twin trick as well. When you get procced into Amber, you lose everything. So the twin trick is now gone from that Tiamat as well. So again, not looking too hot if you're Iron and Matchroom. Actually having a great opening round here. Has to be a little careful. Oh my god, that is nuts. That is nuts. The freeze comes through again. I mean, the effect accuracy must be through the roof on that Mio to be hitting these so consistently. That's crazy.
Still some luck involved.
Could also just be luck, right?
Little bits of turn steals that freezes is so huge, especially when your lineup from the side of Iron is really reliant on activating this Tiamat over and over. So that's really what Watchum needed. The RNG is in his favor. Let's see if he can capitalize enough. If he can get that first game against Iron, that's going to be huge in this best of 5.
I think there's loads of stacks built up so far on the Rahu as well.
If he wins, that will help.
7 stacks that he's already built up so far.
Pretty hot take.
It's getting cut off, but man, he is pumping. He is awake.
Better watch out.
He is. He's doing
watch out.
We're not seeing sleepy Rahu that we saw in the Hyperlink Cup. We're seeing Rahu that actually wants to do some real work here. And unfortunately, I think if Tiamat does,
he does.
Yeah, I think I think Iron's gonna have to concede. I don't see a way back. I mean, obviously.
Wow.
Kind of the Plume, but
Trust me.
Without Tiamat,
this is 2 games we've seen players like Solos try to steal the Fusho Tiamat to not great effect. It seems like Watchum kind of just has this bruiser lineup under his belt. He really navigates it beautifully. Now, I don't know. I think Iron may be going through the motions. Maybe there's a potential if he can knock out this Mio. He can kind of whittle down with the stacking Quills, but I think he might just be feeling it out. You know, that damage does proc that Mio.
I mean, if I don't think I would concede if there was stuff I wanted to think about. Like, he might already be theory crafting for round 2, right?
The Quills lining up.
That's what I would guess, and this is just extra time, so he can try to think of counters.
Yeah,
but landing that early Amber,
Ronaldo plays this game like non-stop. He takes it so seriously, right? He's like,
the problem is the Rahu has
no joke with his
still
PvP.
Awake, and you still have that Veronica, right? Which can, the more the match progresses, she does good damage. Always threatens those buff steals to reverse, the effects of the battle, and then she can kind of close it out herself as well.
Yeah, I think there's always a way potentially, and INM's just thinking about maybe there's a way here that he can find a way back in with the Fushu and the Plume. I mean there is the Jackal Guard is stacking up damage, right?
It's adding up.
But it's just going to be tough. And mostly if Mio goes, a lot of the turn meter control goes out the window as well.
If Plume dies, then
really
then he's just wasting our time.
Oh, and the Ling S3 going to keep that Mio alive even longer. Does get a bit of healing off. That Rahu getting more rat stacks.
Oh my god.
Well, doesn't get the freeze, but gets the assist from that Rahu. I think those 2 early freezes against that Tiamat was that slight bit. Maybe he just needed 1, but that was huge for Watchum. So
I guess he's got a lot of
Iron not respecting it enough, and there it is.
Yeah, he's going to bow out and say, okay, done my piece. That's all I can do. And I think, ultimately, that was kind of what we expected. Having seen the early Tiamat go down, we kind of felt that that's probably going to be the way the game was going to go. But what a opening game from Matchroom here. You know, taking a game off Iron, who's been so kind of clean the entire tournament. Yeah. The extra practice, the bruiser perfection from Matchroom coming in big, and now he's going to go into the second game here with that advantage. Just 2 more wins, and he's going to crown himself the regional champion.
I think Irons can take the next one. He can come back.
Showing, putting the numbers on the board early, taking that first game could be huge. Iron, I don't think is used. He did drop a game earlier against Ronnie, but for the past, 4 or 5 matches, he has been
Ronnie got a game at least.
So maybe this is kind of the nerves. Maybe Watchung is going to put him on the back foot. What I'd like to see, though, from Iron, right? We've seen Watchung be unbeatable. He even beat Brett in the Bruiser lineup. He's shown that he can beat other Bruisers if you try to steal his Fusho Tiamat. So I want Iron to kind of go back to the drawing board, what he was doing earlier, kind of just take those powerhouse units, maybe take the Ray Mary instead of Bandit, and then instead trying to flex on the 3, 4, and 5.
You say Ray Mary instead of Ray Marie?
Control lineup or
do I not know how to pronounce these names, or is this guy weird at pronouncing?
I think
this is also the guy who said Nahor, right?
I'd like to see some adaptation. Like you said, I don't want to see him just kind of stay in the same lane as Matthew. I think Matthew's got the Bruiser comps to a T. Like, he knows how to play them. He knows all the variations that he needs to make it work. I want to see INM kind of flex a little bit, go, like you said, to somewhere else in his category. He's going to go
what might be happening
immediately.
He might be saying, I'm going to do the same exact thing, maybe with some minor differences, but you just got lucky with that Mio, and this time around, it's going to be a different story. Because so far, let's see, he still pre-bans that Ray Mary. He's stealing the Fusho, has that Plume. Let's see what he puts on that ban protect slot.
Could be the Tiamat again. Could be kind of going down the same way and saying, I'll just ban the Mio this time around. I don't know. I mean, it is going to be the Tiamat, and it's going to be Lily this time. Okay, so although I think he had Lily last time as well. So
he did, yeah, it's the same exact lineup.
Yeah, we're just going to get the Rahu and then the Mio, and then going to, that. Oh, okay, no, we got baited. We got baited as Lilium again.
I think he's confident that he liked his odds, maybe going to change the ban, and if he doesn't change the ban, maybe just saying, I think you got a little bit high rolling luck on your Mio S1s. Either that or he's going to ban it. The thing, though, that is interesting is that Iron is taking this line of play despite, sorry, I shouldn't say despite, in favor, because it's a best of 5. So he has room here. Even if he drops this one, he still has room to kind of change it up in game 3.
Yeah, I actually think you're probably on to something here. That Mio did get very lucky. Realistically, the 2 S1s in a row that froze, the S2 that froze at the start, that's unlikely in most scenarios for a Mio, right?
Because if he doesn't believe that, then he's just going through the definition of insanity, right? Repeating the same exact thing, expecting different results. So I think he's identified that was a winning play. Just the RNG wasn't in his favor. So let's see. Iron, thus far has shown that he is the player to beat. So let's trust in his kind of
drafts. Remember, guys, if you want to check the game out, link is pinned in the chat and in the description. I'll drop it in the chat again.
A reality, when it comes to Etheria, sometimes you do just have to deal with the slightly awkward RNG that isn't in your favor. There's always some level of RNG in buff application, in damage dealt, in crit chance. There's always some level of it that you've got to deal with in Etheria, and obviously just saying he didn't feel like he was in a great spot last time round. Obviously a good start here. Lots of buffs though for Veronica to steal, so lots of things being built up, so Veronica can maybe look for them in the next run through. Also, obviously Rahu did get insanely lucky with the amount of wrath stacks that he generated.
Yeah.
So he was scaling super quick as well comparatively.
Yeah, I got a few counters as well. I think he won a lot of 50-50 assists. He was Watchung was really, really high rolling. I don't want to say that was the only reason he won, but it seems like Iron is betting that if things are more averaged RNG, he has the advantage.
Looks like a good Veronica S3 option, to be honest with you. Yeah,
almost definitely.
I was going to say that's a great Veronica,
and that's what he was waiting. The problem, though, is he didn't really steal too much besides the Soul Ward. So
no, didn't get a huge amount there. Already looking much better for INM this time around. You've got a unfrozen Tiamat dealing chunk damage. I mean, that's a dead Rahu. That guy's on sub 1% HP.
Yeah, the Soul Ward keeping alive from the Veronica, but this is such a different story than you saw in game 1. There's some sustain coming out for Iron. Rastac's building up.
It's a lot of RNG.
But let's see if Iron can kind of clutch out and get that kill on the Rahu. The shield's coming out. The Veronica S2, though, going to keep her alive much longer. Tiamat, Dragon Form, doing some decent damage. Rahu still alive.
Ooh, we're going to get the S3 out of the Mio this time round. Chunking away at the Tiamat. We're going to get the S3 coming out from the Rahu, so the Soul Ward being pretty good. We'll get the retaliation
Yeah, those two counters, and then into the activation. This is a lot of damage. Luckily, her health was a little bit under half before that, so the damage wasn't too much, but this is looking real bad for watching. Anytime you have those out-of-turn counters, it really messes with your sense of like how much damage you're taking. So those two back-to-back counters into her activation, that may be a little too much for Watchroom to handle right now.
Yeah, I think looking much better for INM, and as you mentioned, just said, look, I got really unlucky in that last game. Like my comp was just better.
That's a good way to bet on himself,
he's kind
right?
of proving it this time around. It's a much more
I think it was just tough RNG. Let's run it back. Looks like it's paying off.
He gets the S1 freeze again. If he can keep that up, it can be a big deal. Unfortunately, got way more HP to chunk out this time around. And to be honest with you, both Mio and Rahu are looking pretty low. Obviously, Rahu can't be saved twice in a row here.
I'll make this quick for you.
Despite that freeze this time around, it was just a lot more damage coming through. The Jackal Guard able to finish that. Rahu Mio being so low. I don't think the likes of Ling Veronica can clutch this out. And there you go, tied up 1-1 from Iron.
He's going to just gracefully bow out, and I think that's the right decision in that situation.
All right, he tied it up. All right, let's root for Iron. Come on. He took out Ronaldo, then he needs to win.
I knew what I had was better. What you just saw there was freak RNG luck on freezes, and with Rahu, like if that goes, and like that 95% of the time, that's going to go the way I expect it to go. And played that exceptionally well. Love it when a player is confident enough in their draft to run it back, even when they lost with it. That shows you someone that really knows what they're doing in terms of how these things are supposed to play out. Someone that's really tried these matchups, and massive credit to INM to just run that draft back, saying, nope, absolutely certain that I just got unlucky there. I can make this work again.
Yeah, and the scary thing is, though, it kind of shows, I think, if you were just to analyze the match, right, all of us as casters, people watching at home, you kind of notice that I think it is true that Iron just had the favorable draft, like he was confident in his own style, and so now Watchroom is going to be the one that needs to make an adaptation. I don't think if Watchroom tries to stick to the same exact draft and we do the
Whoever
same
loses this game,
two drafts from both players a third time, I
back.
think it's definitely going to be Iron favored. So now Watchroom needs to come up with a little bit of a different strategy. What do I do when my opponent takes that Fushu Tiamat? We saw him earlier pick things like, I believe, Born. He had some other options. I think we saw like a Sonya come out. So I'm very curious to see what he busts out. But now it's going to be, the onus is on him to make some adjustments.
What he's going to bust out.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing. Is
really very confident from him. You like to see it.
They could run this back again, and it's just going to go in favor of Iron once more. So, this is now where Watchroom's like, okay, he needs to recognize that he probably did get quite lucky. He looks back at that and think, okay, I actually probably did get quite lucky here. I now need to think about how I'm going to shift this up. I can't run that draft back again. I need to do something different. And so we are now heading into the draft. It's going to be a change up in terms of Tiamat ban from Raymery. So Raymery, the one, Iron is going to make the first change.
Not Raymery.
It's going to be Fushu and Loan that gets immediately locked in by Dishoom.
Watchroom.
Dishoom is the name of a restaurant in the UK and London, and so I keep saying Dishoom because it's a name of a restaurant. Now you got me hungry,
scoundrel. But I think that was well put.
I know. It's a really good Indian. It's like a really good Indian food restaurant in London.
Wait, please. The reason I'm interrupting you is you're making me so hungry. I don't want to talk about food right now. But you know what? That does sound amazing. I go for some Indian. I was saying that I think Iron. This is actually the play I wanted to see in Game 2, where instead of pre-banning the Raymery, you take the Raymery for yourself. So your opponent has Lowen, but you have that Raymery that either needs to be banned out or she's going to kind of take over, as we saw in the past. But now that he's up tied 1-1, he's kind of shifting it up, maybe because Watchroom had that first pick advantage.
And now with that
Tiamat ban, even though he has the Fusho, right? If you ban that Lowen, what is Watchroom going to take on 5? Maybe like that Born we saw earlier, and now Iron has that Nahor on 4. So this is going to be a completely different matchup.
Yeah, there's something about the way he enunciates his words, right?
Oh, interesting.
Now,
so
Nahor on the other
side. Put the Holden on 4 and then the Nahor on 5. Okay, so we still have the Nahor coming through.
Bruiser over
here.
Nice
Nahor. Especially in units like Veronica, where he can maybe skill
special
reset,
detang.
and then you can press your buttons a little more freely. One of her counters, right? You want to make sure, as we've seen time and time again, when she presses that big skill 3, all that buffs, that hard work you did kind of gets stolen for your opponent.
Nahor being the final lock in here. Let's see what it's going to be. Ooh, interesting. The Lilium pickup comes through for Watchroom, and so that is going to be the final comps locked in here. Bit of a change.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a low-end ban most likely from Iron, and then Lilium is going to have to fight the light. Oh no, Fusho gets banned out. Interesting. So he's going to have, hopefully he has an answer for Lowen. We've seen when Solos, didn't opt to ban the Lowen, she really took over the match. Ray Mary, no surprise, getting banned out there. Lilium having, can't be crowd controlled, can't be turn meter pushed, is a nice boon to have, but against the likes of Holden, this could be still scary.
All right, let's see it.
Absolutely could.
Let's
see where we're going. This is the third match of the series, and this is going to be pretty crazy. We're going to go potentially all the way to 5 games. Could you believe that? If we went all the way to 5 games, that'd be crazy.
It would be crazy, but
I hope it does.
Today have been so fast.
I mean, we're here for it, right?
We're in the grand finals, X, and so going to the limit, I think I'd be excited for.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be well up for seeing that. I think what I'm interested though in is who is going to come out on top of this matchup. What do you think really kind of stands out to you? Which comp do you think kind of has the edge here?
I think it's Iron because of the Holden being able to potentially, right? You see the damage coming through from these Jackal guards, really threatening that Lilium. And now that D-Ting has been able to activate, I'm not sure if Watchroom is going to have the damage to punch through. You see these debuffs really sticking. Veronica being so early in the turn meter kind of set her back a bit. So we'll have to see. But once again, in these Bruiser versus Bruiser lineups, it's anyone's game.
That's the signature from D-Ting.
Better watch out.
Low HP around the Liam, and Liam not having done a huge amount here, not looking great. I want to see if
does have that
the ultimate now. Let's see where we go. Oh, it's a lot of damage onto the Hall, but not enough.
Yeah, Tiger unfortunately went towards the D-Ting. Okay, doesn't land on the Ling. However, look how low that Lilium is, and now it's taken out. 3v4 scenario. You still have the low end with a healer up, but Veronica getting skill reset. Look at the debuffs stacking up. Even though Linglo's trying her hardest to cleanse them, this is looking very good for Iron.
It absolutely is. I think he is in a commanding position for the time being, and I think ultimately that'll be another thing to think about. Obviously, the low HP on the Whore, there is always a comeback mechanic, but it doesn't look great for the time being.
Yeah, I don't think it's not looking too hot for the side of Watchroom. The plumes, quills are stacking up. We've mentioned that many times before. This low one is just being controlled. The D-Ting, this is the one encounter where we're seeing the value, right? He had enough damage reduction, keep his team alive, kept that Nahor from dying, and then providing that lockdown onto the low and in reverse. Usually you see the low one locking down players. He is doing to her what she does to everyone else.
Clearing out immediately.
I think
this looks good.
Lowen goes into Amber for the time being.
It's so clutch. Holden's so good. I think Holden's still my favorite character.
Amber's such a huge tempo loss that when you're on the back foot, unless you're fighting someone like a pure cleaver where they're so squishy, a lot of times, even though you have that second life, you're just put back on the bar. You get all your buffs reset. You can't do much in that first turn. So we'll see if it's enough here. She is pretty healthy. Does still have a Ling low.
Yeah, I mean, Lowen can turn things around by herself if given the right space and time. Like you said, the tempo loss is big. We've also lost most of the buffs. The ultimate's going to come out here. It will take out Nahor. It's not all
I wonder if he pressed
lost.
S2 to apply the debuffs. Maybe that was enough to kill the Nahor, but he opted to make sure he dies, because I think if he left that alive at 1, it could be really scary. The problem is he's so far behind. I think you have to play a little greedy.
Why is he hanging out?
I think I agree with
There's
you.
There's nothing in your kit that can let them come back. Yeah.
Now just,
all right, one win away.
I think, unfortunately, not an easy
I do kind of hope it goes to 5.
INM solidifies his second win in the series, and he needs just one more to crown himself the champion. Definitely the man to beat thus far. Watching came out swinging here, but hasn't been able to get back on top of INM. Has been able to adapt his draft phase.
Man, I just want to go back to what we were talking about earlier. I'm so impressed that Iron, the first 2 games, despite that loss, stuck through it with that second draft, really showed, hey, that was just, that was a luck factor, and I had the better draft. I should win this 9 times out of 10. He did it, and then in game 3, he swapped it up on Watchroom, not letting him kind of regain control and try things out. Instead of stealing units this time around, he picks that Nahor, kind of like a pseudo Heinrich, showing on 4 and 5 that he can still flex into those debuff units that Watchroom has shown to have trouble with.
No, absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head here. I think it just shows a really strong mastery as well of you know, of where he's at. He's basically saying like, I absolutely know what I'm doing with my comps. Like, you know, I know what a Mio should and shouldn't be capable of in that situation, and I think like ultimately was very happy to say that was definitely an error on sort of the RNG side. Nothing too crazy from for me to worry about. So yeah, really good stuff from INM. And I
don't love Veronica, but
we shift
I
things
see
up
why
into this
people
next
pick her
matchup. It's Heinrich bad again and Tiamat bad again. So INM looking to take that Tiamat away. Maybe take basically put watching on a little bit of discomfort. Like basically just saying, hey.
Yeah.
Like I want to make sure you're not comfortable on a standard bruiser matchup that you're happy with, and sort of saying I want to force you into kind of a weird draft that I know I'm gonna back myself on.
Exactly. So either if he's gonna play the bruiser matchup against Watchung has shown that he is the bruiser king, then he's gonna steal, right, the Fusho Tia. If he's not gonna have that, then he's gonna pre-ban the Tiamat and, like you said, put Watchung in an uncomfortable position, never giving him the prime units that he needs. This time around though, Watchung does have a Lily, Holden also being stolen, so I like this. Watchung is changing it up. This time he's taking the units that were effective against him in the previous lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Fushu, Lily gets locked in the protected spot, the Holden as well. Plume. It's interesting that Iron's really prioritizing Plume. I mean, obviously we've seen people prioritize Plume early on in the draft.
Yeah, it is
Lilith
interesting.
Comes
I mean,
through, though.
Plume is
the
unbelievable.
First Lilith of the
all
day,
the debuffing, all the marks. Quills are crazy.
Misumi Aya,
wow.
That definitely throws some crazy things.
I'm excited to see Lilith in action.
Yeah, and I think that's why
I've never seen her in like a tournament
answer to crowd control, bit more sustain as well. Fusho is going to get banned out, and that could be very telling. Iron was quick with that one, maybe identifying that, Fusho, if you don't have that mega sustain from Fusho, I can kind of come over the top with my lineup. The Lilith, we haven't seen. I thought we'd see that from someone like maybe Bread, but instead Iron is showing that he just has so many units built, can play so many different styles. Let's see if it pays off.
My turn.
Excited to see this Lilith in the void state for the time being. Let's see Lily, obviously the first to act in this situation, meaning that Lilith can't be targeted.
Yeah, that is huge against units like Holden, units like Lowen, right, that want to lock down your carry. Having that void effect means this first turn with her single target, she can't stop the threat that is Lilith.
Can't underestimate them.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lilith obviously can start to churn out. They are putting a bit of pressure onto Plume here, but
I'm gonna drop the download link in the chat again, guys, if anyone wants it. It's also in the description if you want to grab it
down
there.
Straight away. Lilith's now going to come into the party, and she's going to go jump in and use her ultimate. Let's see how much this does. That's a decent amount of damage. But
less than I wanted to
tanky.
see.
You can then follow up with her S2 as well and go straight back into the void state as well. So feeling pretty happy.
Yeah. I think he's looking pretty good here. Definitely not out. Watching is not out of it. You see the damage coming through, but I think that ban on Fusho was beautiful. Sylph kind of maybe like a shotgun answer against control. But you're seeing the what happens when you play bruisers. You don't have too much sustain. That being said, the Lowen pumping, Plume at 1 health, finally getting takeout. So that's a 4v3 advantage for Watchung. Let's see if it's enough. A little defense up, a little healing.
Sustain, but not a huge amount, like you said. We don't have a massive amount going for us. We're waiting for potentially a buff steal situation. This probably looks like the best you're going to get, and they are going to take that now pretty much straight away, put everything back onto the side. And obviously we do still have Lilith, who it feels like she's been stuck in this void state forever. We do have the ultimate from Loan as well.
Another S3.
Yeah, exactly. And Lilith now finally going to do something, but it's just an S1, so it doesn't feel too great in this situation. Waiting for the S3 to come back into play, but Lilith is so slow that it's taking her for about 16 turns to actually get a turn into this.
I think the Mizusumi Aya
the S3 coming out from the Sumi Aya, but yeah, still not looking great for the time being. The damage just not there from the Lilith to be threatening enough, and it's the Loan that's really proving to be a nuisance, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, unlike the previous match where we locked her down, when Lowen is free to have,
it's like we're getting our game 5, guys.
You're seeing why she's so powerful. So this time it's just not quite working. The Lilith tempo wasn't quite there. After that initial S3, right, her off turns are just not very good. And back-to-back S3s from Lowen going through is just seeming to be too much to handle for the side of Iron.
It's a little joke.
To see if Lilith can do anything with her S3 again. Obviously, you get the S3 into the S2, but it's just not enough damage. Like even
that's
if she
also
does,
a resist on the
that's not great.
Doesn't even land the bomb.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So we didn't get the stun. Yeah, not looking great. I mean, the Lilith a little bit of a miss here. Looking at this side.
show.
There goes the Aya. Now we just have a 1v4 Lilith. I don't think she can do it.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to
Crazy.
have to throw that one down. So Matthew
What a finals,
comes
huh?
back into this.
Oh my God.
And Lilith, again, was a bit of a wild pick. I mean, I liked the idea, but it just ultimately was not what was needed here to get the job done. And so now we have one more match. It is literally a best of one to claim $1,000 and claim yourself as the claim yourself as the
$1,000 is no joke. That's legit.
Qualifier finalists. So that is a big deal as well in this next best of one. But Matchum coming back, swinging back against INM, looking pretty crazy. This is absolutely insane so far. I've been really impressed with how these two guys are playing.
Yeah, this is feels like a very even final, right?
It's been the biggest battle for both of these guys.
Like if Iron had won 3-1, and you could say, oh, the first one was a fluke. But I mean, that was pretty dominant. That one wasn't even close. Let's be honest. That game wasn't even close
in this final game of the series.
I fully agree with what you're saying about both players back and forth. The adjustments. Watchum coming back now, tying up in this best of 5. I still think Iron has the advantage here. He gave himself the room, right, going up 2 games early. So now he has either the first pick advantage or he can try out something different in his draft. So I think maybe he's going to respect the low end potentially, or have enough like control like he had with that Nahor comp to lock her down. Because when you leave her up, right, every time we see this low end character take more than one S3, it's too much to handle.
I agree with you. I think Lowen, to me, I was talking about Doki Doki earlier, but on reflection from this entire tournament, Lowen has been the MVP. When Lowen has been let through, you've really felt it. Obviously, there have been times where Lowen has lost, but it really has felt like Lowen has been the GOAT of the series so far. She really has been sort of the MVP animus. The Mio,
this could be the change-up
slot.
Yes,
Yeah,
that Mio is now on the ban
change-up.
protect. Maybe this will help alongside the rest of his draft to kind of lock her down. That Doki comes out as scoundrel. We've been talking about what a linchpin character this is for multiple players, but providing that turn meter, either that speed contest, the cleansing. She got buffed recently. She really does it all. The problem is, though, I think Iron is really going to go full aggression, just taking that Fusho so he doesn't have to fight it. But I expect on 5,
he's really mixing it up here. He's going for the lock on Neo. He blocks the Ray Marie.
Yeah, I think so. And obviously we've got no TMAT that we can pick up. Veronica's going to get going over to the side of Matchum. So Matchum has Lowen, TMAT, Doki,
and Kokardi. First time we've seen them. They're really mixing it up. I feel like they're just like bored.
Kokardi be really strong. I've seen a couple of misses from Kokardi as well. Interesting to see this one come through. I imagine the Lilium gets banned here, and so the TMAT is going to get banned. I guess the Lilium is going to be the target. Because obviously, you don't want to have her one shot your Doki or one shot your Veronica.
It depends. Oh, wow. I was saying maybe Kokardi could be an option, but Fusho watching, identifying, maybe that's the threat. Now, if he takes out the healing, right, he can maybe just have a little bit of chip damage. Lowen does make it through, so even if she's controlled, if Doki or Ling get some opportune S3s, then even Veronica can kind of close out these kind of matches.
This is it. This is the final match. We went the distance. I know, we went all the way to the best of 5. With both these guys playing each other to the absolute best. It's Matchum versus INM for the winner of the global server qualifiers for the grand finals in person next year. Both of these guys have already made it. Both of them are already going to be on that stage, but it is obviously for the prestige of being the #1 on your server. And it's going to be
money, potentially better seating, right? Yeah, this is for all the marbles and scoundrel. I love it.
I don't know if I like that Kokardi skin that much.
The Veronica damage really adding up. Now we're going to see.
Yeah, this is for everything. Winner takes $1,000 here, guys.
Going. Iron is on the side that if he doesn't get enough early advantage, the healing, the cleansing is just going to be too much to handle as the rounds progress. Kokardi also needs a little bit of ramp up time too, so he can't be attacked here directly from the likes of
I would have banned Lowen. He didn't ban Lowen or Doki.
Only maybe S2, maybe some random S2s from Veronica. He still needs some time, so let's see if Watchum can take the early game lead. Oh my god, oh my. Yeah, and I think you were talking about that exact interaction, right? Why maybe you thought she was going to get banned, but look at the damage still adding up. So he does get the advantage, but quickly gets evened out, and now the health lead is firmly on the side of Watchum.
Every time he's gotten to play his Lowen, he's winning, right?
Obviously, we know how powerful Lowen can be, and with the loss of the plume here, you no longer get the stacks locking up.
We got
also
3
have
will
obviously
per
used
stacks
the Lily
now
MS3, so we're going to be a little
on
while
low.
until that comes back into play with no Lily on the board either. Icardi also not feeling super good. The S3 comes through, to steal whatever buffs.
Look at all the stacks. Look at all that.
This is
Just to make matters worse.
Match. Yeah,
Shit,
I mean,
6 stacks now?
Very strong here.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
let's get some turn meter. We have an S2, but with how just
Oh,
tanky
there's a
his
stun.
opponents are, he's gonna have to have a lot of work.
This was not the final we wanted. I don't know. Maybe it would be an
Now,
amazing
Linglo
comeback.
does push up with that like of Gigabyte. So if she gets some resets going, look at that. Lowen actually getting healed up. All those whale prayers really paying off.
Oh my god.
So he is able to sustain, and it's
Oh my
looking bad for
God.
Iron.
Oh no,
my
that's it. That's it. Surely
Wow.
that's
How
it.
do
He's
you-
going to be like going to give him the
Humble
last
the bag,
hit,
why
hopefully,
don't
but
you?
he
My
just
God.
concedes, and Matchroom-
There it is. Wow. That was
I know.
What a
I
turn
know.
of events.
Matchroom is the number one. He's the winner. He's the
What an
grand finalist. He's the
insane-
best on the server. He wins the $1,000 and he takes home the grand prize.
Insane
Unbelievable
final.
comeback from the lower bracket for Matchroom. What an excellent player,
First
man. He had
3
such
games were great,
performance.
and then the last
honestly,
2,
you
I
mentioned
don't know
it.
what
He just
happened.
showcased
It's like getting
perfection
cute,
on
trying
that
new
particular style of play.
animus,
Exactly.
anima,
He
every
did have
single
a few
one.
Tech pieces. Sometimes
Crazy.
they worked, sometimes they didn't. But he is the one player I think out of all the rest that always really stuck. Maybe we would have seen that from Young if he made it out of the first match. But players like that I really respect. Where a lot of times you'll see players that are flexible. That is a strength where they play multiple styles. Maybe who's in the meta. Watch and really show that when bruisers are in play, he is the man.
Yeah, absolutely. Massive congrats to Matchroom. I think looking at the
Man,
start,
wow.
he's only improved in every series that we've seen him. He's started to become more and more effective. But massive congratulations, by the way, to the 4 players that did indeed make it through to the qualified list. The top 4 from the global server qualifiers will be going to those grand finals in 2026. So even if it was a loss for INM, he is still going to have his chance to come back in those in-person finals next year. Bread also bowing out early in this round, but it doesn't matter because he still made top 4. Solos, who obviously fell to Matchroom in the lower bracket final, he will still be making it all the way to the finals next year. And obviously, our winner, our number 1 global server player, going alongside Keka for that position and looking to battle it out in the grand finals in one of the top 16 spots, it will be Matchroom. Massive pat on the back to Matchroom.
See those
Had a
highlights.
hard-fought battle, played the most
See the little
games out of
recap
anyone
action.
today, and ended up coming through on top. Huge congrats to him, and I can't wait to see how he does in 2026.
1,000,000% off the top rope or maybe the bottom rope from the losers bracket, taking out the unbeatable champion in the form of Iron M. Watching really deserved it. I couldn't have said it better myself. Ex-Scoundrel, what
Yeah,
a match. We
I
went the
think
distance like you
you
predicted.
heard me say it. I was like,
and
you
what a
got to ban
treat. I really
Lowen. I was like, maybe
where
Dogi
the
Dogi,
meta
no,
is
you should
sort
ban
of heading
Lowen.
to.
That's what I said,
And we're
right?
gonna
And
get
then
things that are
I
gonna
think
get
he
even
would have
crazier
loved
with
banning
these
Lowen,
additions
right?
of
It would be
characters.
just
really still
better.
shaking it up, adding more play styles, adding more variety, and I think that's the spice of life we wanted in Etheria.
Absolutely. This is, I gotta say, massive props to the Etheria team for adding all the new characters they've added. I think it's brought a lot of differential play styles to the PvP meta. I think there's a lot of different ways
Definitely
you can approach
has,
the
but at the
game
end of
now.
the
I think
day,
they've done
the
a really
newest
good job of
LD
building
that
on
was
those
able to make it
foundations
onto a
and just making
team
sure
won,
there's a really
right?
varied
Ray
meta
Marie
to
kept
play
getting
with.
blocked, so
huge
Lowen gets
congrats
in,
to
and the
team.
Lowen team wins.
But a massive, once again, congrats to those top 4 players that have advanced to the offline global finals. That is going to wrap up all of the matches that we have today on the international global
These announcers
server.
did a fantastic
Qualifiers
job.
have been done. We have our top 4 players, and for that we say thank you for watching. Now, of course, make sure you stay tuned to Etheria's official YouTube, Twitch, and X live channels. There will be more action coming your way, and of course, we will see you again at the global finals.
Yeah, the
We'll see you
finals
soon.
offline.
Good night.
That'd be cool. The people talking are content creators. Yeah, but like official, they were hired as announcers for this. You really like this game, but everyone said it went last. I mean, it's lasting, right? They're coming up on a year in May. So if you want to try it out, down the link's right there. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. I'll stick around for a minute if anyone has any questions about this or anything until the feed's over. But yeah, definitely check the game out. They're putting a lot of effort into it. It's also quite free-to-play friendly, which is always a great thing. can't believe that round 5. I mean, I thought we were getting this like great even matchup, and that round 5 was like, I don't know. I mean, they know better than me, but I don't know what Iron was thinking. It's pulling out Kokardi for the first time. We saw him fight 7 times, right? Because he won a 2-0, and then this was 5 rounds. All right, looks like that's the end of the feed, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, like what you were saying, Ray Marie's better, but Ray Marie gets banned, and then Lowen makes it through, so it's just like the most recent OP unit, whichever makes it through, right? Well, thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can also hit me up on my Discord. If you need a link or something, I can send it to you there. Definitely going to be covering the game a little bit more. I just posted a video yesterday on my Etheria channel, Fasty Gotcha, if you want to watch that. Posted a video here on this channel a week or 2 ago as well. So check all that stuff out. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. I've been Fastidious, and I'll see you real soon. Bye. All right.